Hello everyone, my name is Gregorio Cadondon Agamata and I am a student from Nueva Vizcaya State University Bambang campus, and my major is BS Ed, major in mathematics. Okay, so one of the requirements that I need to do is from my subject grade book, I need to select 10 scenic and most remarkable places that visited by Dante. So this all about from a novel Inferno. Okay, so I wrote those thoughts that kind of helped me to make this output. So I'm going to share what I've learned from the Inferno, and this one is like Dante Alighieri first described the nine circles of hell in his epic poem Divine Comedy. It is a long narrative poem in the Italian language. The poem has three parts, and the narrative describes Dante's journey through the three realms, namely Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. He is guided and accompanied by Virgil or Virgil, an ancient Roman poet from the time of Augustus. The nine circles of hell are described in the first part of the poem, Inferno. Each circle represents sin and punishment reserved by one who commits the sins. The circles are divided into two parts, the upper hell and the lower hell. The first sin is self-indulgence such as lust, gluttony, greed, and wrath or anger. The 2 to 5 circles are for the upper hell. Circle 7 is for violence, and Circle 8 and Circle 9 are for fraud. Dantes added Circle 1 as limbo and Circle 6 for heresy. Okay, so now I'm going now to present to you what I have drawn according to what I've read about Inferno. So I'm going to show it to you the first circle of hell, and I call this limbo of infants. So this is the picture, as you can see. Okay, this is the one. I tried my best to draw, but okay. So I'm going to read this, what it is all about, the first circle of hell. So according to the poem, Dante along with Virgil arrives at Limbo, the first circle of hell. They had to cross the river Acheron on a boat to reach Limbo. The literal meaning of Limbo is boundary or edge. The first circle contains people who did not accept Christ. So Limbo is filled with virtuous pagans, people who never baptized, and the people who don't have enough faith to enter heaven, but also were not simple are sent to Limbo. Okay, so this is the 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 imagination that I can see that one of Dante's saw in the first circle of hell, the limbo of infants. Like, as you remember that Beatrice, his wife, is like I think she she aborted the baby because she thought that that Dantes is was cheating on her. So this is the first circle of hell. Okay, and the next one is the circle of hell. That is the last. Okay, so this is the drawing that I made. Okay, the illustrations. Okay, this one. So I'm going to share what is all about the second circle of hell. So people who were driven by lust are tormented here in the form. Dante says that strong violent winds blow in the second circle of hell. The violent winds drag and emboss the tormenting souls on the rocks and mountains. It symbolizes the supremacy of lust over the people, which driven them to satisfy them, never quenching thirsty. According to the poem, Dante sees many adulterous people such as Cleopatra, Dido, Helen of Troy, Tristan, Semiramis, and many more over there. So this is one that like I illustrate because I also read from the novel Inferno. Um, like Dante was a warrior and he needed to be far away from his family, and like something that happened is like he also got like having weak flesh, and he got tempted to to cheat, and because of the flesh lust that he feel. Okay, so and the third one that I'm going to share with you is the third circle of hell. Okay, so the third circle of hell, so maybe I'm going to read it first, what it's all about, or like something that my mind is kind of think about the circle of hell. Souls of the people who are indulged in voracious feasting and appetite are tortured. The whole landscape is filled with putrefying mud and living organs. They are forced to gurgle around in the solid waste and mud, and the monstrous dog beasts with 3 heads also live in these circles. So this kind of also my representation, the third circle that Dante's visited. And it's like the monstrous dog beasts, and the souls are tormented not only for their overindulging excessive eating and drinking, but also for their other addictions. Okay, this one. Okay, and the fourth one also, that something that Dante visited. It's like very also remarkable, is the fourth circle of hell. We call this greed. Okay, so greed. So greed, as as I understand, the circle is divided into 2 groups of people: the ones who spend lavishly and those who hoarded by the great and imperial possessions, which is irrelevant. It refers to people as they lost their souls and carry a huge weight on the chest, and they themselves choose to suffer to attain higher possession. The great indulgence of 2 parties has been them in the self-pity of misery and lies, which is never enough to suffice them, appetite for never-ending greed. Hoarding and squandering have led to the indifference to come to mutual antagonism. Okay, so this is also my representation of the fourth circle, and this is like okay. And the fifth one is the circle of hell, the wrath or anger. So as also like read it from the Inferno, we know that also Dante, it's kind of like impatient, and it's like having the full of anger, and so It also says that in this circle of hell, particular to that wrath or anger, it is present in the stinking, decaying waste of the Styx River. In the circle live the Shrek who live their entire life willfully. According to the poem, Dante along with Virgil find the souls to fight each other furiously on the surface of the Styx River. Depending on the severity of the wrathful actions, they sink in the river water. Okay, so this also my drawing, my drafting about this, like, you know, they're like full of anger to one another, and they're like sinking according to what, like the level of the wrathfulness that they have. Okay. And the sixth one we call the circle of hell, the heresy. Okay, this heresy is the souls being tortured in the successive circle, committed heinous crimes, and punished with severely tortured climbing. The souls of people who denied the course of Christianity are trapped in flaming hot tombs. Okay, so this is also my representation for the sixth circle of hell. I have shown. Okay. And the seventh one that Dante visited is the circle of hell, particular to violence. Okay, violence. So as we know that Dante kind of like remembered, you know, there's something that Dante remembered in this area, in this part of circle of hell, violence. But I would like to share with you what is my thought about this. So it is further divided into 3 rings. The souls are sent to suffer in the circles depending on the severity of their violence. The first ring tortured souls of people who are violent against their neighbors. The second ring torments the souls of people who were violent toward themselves. And the third ring has souls of people who share violence against God and natural art. And this kind of like touching for me, and I just to draw this part when Dante met his mom, and like, you know, like Dante thought before that his mom, I can say that she got sick, but because of like the violence, or like, you know, like his dad is very like inhumane, and he maltreated his mom, and his mom didn't tell to Dante, and like because of that too much emotion and physical pain, Dante's mom like suicide. She hung herself, and that's why like Dante saw his mom there, you know. So that's kind of like, you know, something like so touching, because when Dante like raised the cross to free his mom from that kind of like, you know, unfair justice, I can say. But you know, thanks to the mercy of God, that his mom got like free from this bondage or torment. And the 8th ones that I also would like to share with you is the circle of hell, to particular to Prod, the 8th circle of hell. Okay, so in this Dante also like have that memories, like, you know, as we know that when Dante came back that time to return to their home, he don't he didn't have any idea who killed his family. And until like, like, remember when Dante was in, like, in that place that there's a lot of resides imprisoned, and one of the prison people there, like that guy, promised that he will make a way to revenge, because Dante was so unkind to them. And that's why that man, like, had that anger, or like too much hatred in his heart. He revenge. And this is this, that man, when he kind of like saw, like, think that he was being like taking advantage by Dante because of that prode. Okay, so this is the place where people who committed frauds or malicious crimes are tortured. The circle is divided into 10 pitches or bulgia. And first bulgia, founders or for sex workers or seducers are tortured. They are whipped by the demons, for they exploited others by seducing them to fulfill their interest. Okay, like, take for example, like, I think that woman, the one of the women that time, like, kind of like seduce, they're trying to seduce Dante so that they can be free from that prison. And that's why she said that she will give comfort to Dante, and that I think that's maybe like the wife of that man who killed the family of Dante. Okay. And the last circle of hell is the treachery. Okay, so treachery, it is a frozen lake called Cocytus. It also has here center of hell where Satan resides, and the souls are frozen in the depths of lake depending on the type and severity of their sins. The ones who committed is a more severe crimes or sins are more buried deeper. Okay, so this also like a presentation as well, and this is my drawing. And the other thing is like, when before Dante, like put into the last circle of hell, you know, this also kind of like part of the circle of fraud, because in this illustration, where like the king of devil, trying to get Beatrice to be the queen of the devil, because Beatrice that time, because she kind of like complain, or like kind of like giving the fault to Dante, because like she betrayed, like Dante betrayed her, and that's why like she kind of like pull off hatred, like and she choose to be the queen of the devil. Okay, but because of Dante's love and desire to bring back the innocent soul of Beatrice, in the end, Dante's had the chance to bring back the soul of Beatrice to to heaven, I can say. Okay. So I like this book about Inferno. So lessons from Inferno is like there's one more lesson from the Dante's Inferno that that bears repeating. It's that evils always eventually vanish. It doesn't matter who you are or who you think you are, only that you will one day suffer the consequence of your actions. In Dante's day, that meant Going to hell, which just about everyone at that time believed was a literal place full of fire and torment. Hope you like my videos that I've shared, and thank you for watching.